Hi, I'm Frank from the Watchdog team, and today we're taking a close look at another project that raises more questions than answers, Aventara Limited. If you're thinking about handing over your money to a shiny new broker, sit tight and listen carefully. What looks polished on the surface, it can easily hide serious risks. Aventara Limited, a slick name, a polished website, and the standard promises every new online broker makes. Intuitive trading, fast execution, low minimum deposit and support around the clock. On the surface, aventaralimited.com looks like any modern fintech landing page. MetaTrader logos, mentions of CFDs and crypto, a British phone number and a reassuring support email. But when you peel back that shiny shell, the picture becomes alarming. The signals are so consistent and so familiar that any prudent investor should pause, look twice, and keep their wallet firmly in their pocket. From the first click, the red flags begin to multiply. The site contains template headings and generic copy that could have been dropped into any off-the-shelf theme. There is no corporate biography, no management team, no audited financials, and no verifiable trail of public activity. The domain itself is brand new, registered in late July 2025, which is not in itself a crime, but it does mean there is no track record, no historical presence, and nothing to corroborate the company's self-presentation. The web archive offers no previous versions, and WHOIS data points to an anonymous registration. In practice, that combination means the broker is building trust on empty air. The onboarding process is telling. Registration on the site looks like it was cobbled together quickly. In several places, it resembles a simple form rather than a proper client portal built to financial industry standards. The broker asks for minimal personal information up front, which lowers barriers to deposit and raises questions about due diligence. Later, when verification is supposedly required, the demands swing the other way and become intrusive and worrying. Customers are asked to provide full banking confirmations, including SWIFT receipts with detailed sender information. That degree of exposure, effectively handing over your entire banking trail to an unverified operator, is risky in the best of circumstances and unforgivable if the operator turns out to be fraudulent. Trading conditions are presented as attractive. There are multiple account tiers with the usual upsell. Standard, professional, demo, promises that higher tiers unlock better conditions, market access, and a personal assistant. In reality, those tiers are classic psychological levers designed to push clients into depositing ever larger sums. The so-called trading platform options, MT4, MT5, and a proprietary interface, sound impeccable on paper, but closer inspection reveals that the platform does not live up to the claim of independence. Price feeds and charts shown on the site are clearly sourced from TradingView, yet the broker makes no transparent relationship disclosures. Among listed TradingView brokers, Aventara Limited is not present. In other words, the platform appears to be a facade. The charts are borrowed, the execution may be simulated, and the illusion of live market activity can be used to mislead a trader into thinking real orders are being routed when they are not. Money matters are where theory becomes reality and where the most harm is done. Deposit options are presented in broad strokes, cards, bank transfers, with tantalizing language about processing times and limits, but the site fails to provide precise figures, contractual terms, or a reliable record of transactions inside the client dashboard. Users report that funds sent to the broker do not show up correctly in their personal accounts, a pattern consistent with platforms that accept deposits and then make withdrawal difficult or impossible. Withdrawal requests, when they do appear, are met with delays, requests for additional documentation, and new financial requirements that crop up only at the moment a client asks for cash back. That is the hallmark of the extraction playbook. Create a barrier to exit and monetize it. Beyond the mechanics, there is a human cost. Real people have related the same disheartening story. Alluring ads on social media or convincing phone calls, initial small withdrawals honoured to build trust, then escalating demands for extra fees, taxes, or insurance when larger sums are requested. One trader told how a manager's confident assurances led to repeated deposits, only for the account to be closed when a full withdrawal was attempted and the manager's number to go dead. Another described being lured by a social media success story into investing, being allowed to withdraw modest amounts at first, then being hit with successive demands that ultimately wiped out their savings and left them indebted. Lack of licensing is the single most consequential omission. Legitimate brokers operate under the oversight of regulators such as the UK's FCA, SISEC in Cyprus, ASIC in Australia, or comparable bodies. Regulation does not make a platform flawless, but it establishes baseline protections, segregation of client funds, reporting obligations, complaint procedures, and the accountability that comes with visibility. Aventara Limited offers no verifiable license information and cannot be found in the public registers of recognised regulators. That absence isn't a minor detail, it is a foundational problem. When a firm operates without regulation, customers have no safety net and little recourse. Verification processes on the site appear contradictory. An initially lax sign-up is followed by a heavy-handed documentation request when a client attempts to fund or withdraw. The demand for full SWIFT confirmations that disclose complete banking chains is particularly troubling. Not only does that step expose sensitive financial metadata to an untrusted third party, it also gives the operator enough information to attempt fraudulent transactions or identity misuse elsewhere. Entrusting such details to an anonymous, unregulated entity is a major red flag. Some parts of the website and marketing are engineered to tug at emotion and social proof, polished testimonials, images of relaxed traders, a narrative of rapid success. But the customer stories that surface independently do not corroborate that narrative. Instead, they reveal a systematic pattern of entrapment, small wins to create confidence, pressure to invest more, and then opaque processes that prevent exit. The emotional manipulation is deliberate, mixing urgency and exclusivity to override rational checks. What should someone do if they suspect they've engaged with Aventara Limited? First, stop further deposits immediately. Preserve every piece of correspondence, every transaction receipt, screenshots of platform activity and the registration page. Contact your payment card issuer or bank straight away to inquire about chargeback options. Seek legal and recovery advice from firms that specialize in contesting fraudulent transfers. While recovery is never guaranteed, early action increases the chances. Report the incident to local law enforcement and to financial watchdogs in jurisdictions where you hold citizenship or residency. Finally, share your experience on independent review sites and forums to warn others. The only practical defense community has against such actors is shared visibility. At the end of the day, Aventara Limited exhibits a constellation of worrying attributes: a freshly registered and anonymous domain, a hollow corporate story, a clumsy client portal that trades speed for privacy, unverifiable trading infrastructure, opaque money handling procedures, and an absence of regulatory oversight. Taken together, these elements point not to a nascent fintech upstart, but to an operation built to capture deposits and resist withdrawals. The safest, least dramatic conclusion is simple: treat this broker as hazardous and avoid entrusting it with funds. Financial safety begins with basic verification. A responsible broker will be transparent about its license, will list a verifiable physical address and executive team, will offer clear contractual terms, will provide audited statements, and will facilitate easy contact with a real human being. Absent those things, the promises on a glossy landing page are not worth the risk. If you value your capital, apply rigorous due diligence. Check regulator databases, verify domain history, read independent reviews, and treat any request for comprehensive banking confirmations with extreme caution. In the case of Aventara Limited, the prudent course is to steer well clear. Lost money with a broker, find out how to get it back. Contact us at Watchdog Online, proton.me, and leave your name and phone number so we can get back to you. The Watchdog Online team stands guard over your safety. Together we will make the internet better.